What's the magic number? What's it gonna be? Okay, questions. Don't have any questions. I forgot to ask for questions. So we're gonna, yeah, that 40 minutes, I mean 20 minutes, it was like double 20 minutes. It's like almost as long as when your girlfriend says 20 minutes. With women, it's 3 times the time that they say. With these, it's normally double. 77, that's too low. 420. Yeah, we're not gonna have this. It's not gonna happen. Ciao. Cieffo. How do you say your name? No, I don't smoke. I literally, I saw a news report about some nerds dying from vaping, which is good, you know. If you vape, you might as well die. So stupid. Especially if you vape and you have those flavors, like strawberry flavored vape. Fuck you. It's good that they started dying, to be honest. But anyway, my thought process was 11 people died. Fucking 11 people die every second from cigarettes. No one gives a shit. 11 people die from these vape pens or something, and the world's coming to an end. The fuck do you expect? Fucking smoke inhaling chemicals. Fuck, I wish more of them died. So anyway, that's why I was thinking, what about weed? Like, everyone's going on about weed all the time. So, yeah, that's why I asked that. 103 people. Yeah, that sounds realistic. Okay, let's do Q&A until 103 people are on here. So, please spam everyone, especially Americans. And I'm negotiating with my lawyers now. I'm trying to get back to the good old days here in the coming year. So I'm not sure how that will go. But anyway, so spam everyone. Get your mom to watch. We need 103 people. I'm gonna show you how to do the mesh, so you don't strip your shit in a race, so you can finish. And what else? What about Techno's new car? Is that a question? Techno new car. Yeah, they have a new car. So what? I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ. Do you set... Okay, we have a question. Do you set your brakes up to lock the wheels and use finger control, or set it light enough to not lock up the wheels? I think it does lock up, but I set the brakes so if I push the car on the pit table, for example, or on a grippy surface, pit lane or somewhere, the wheels will still turn. But they do lock up on track. If it's loose, at least. Yeah. But I don't set it, I don't set the brakes so that they just lock up like that. That's crazy. Some people set their brakes like that. I don't understand how that's even possible. None of my friends like you, so no need in sharing. Well, share to, you know, someone else. Message someone directly. Heck no to techno. That's what Jason said. I just read his message. 100 people already. Jeez, this Q&A session is gonna be really short. Group setup, but in an independent way. For example, what happens if I add only group in the front? Oh, for fuck's sake. 102 people, one more person. Oh, group independently. If you add more group in the front, your car's gonna jump better. It will be easier to drive on power, better on power, I think. And yeah, if you add... The rear group affects corner speed a lot. The car tends to be faster if you can run less rear group, but easier to drive if you run more. Lands better, jumps better when you have more. Goes through bumps better when you have more. Front, I think... yeah, it's kind of bad if you don't have enough droop in either end, like front and rear. Both are bad. It's always easier to drive when you have more. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about droop. You go read my guide. What is going to be effect of the US tariff on China on RC industry? Price increase on products? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You have to ask the US distributors and manufacturers. You have to ask them. I'm not in America. Trump can put whatever tariffs he wants. Hope he screws all you guys. Kingpin 0 or not? We're at 107. Q&A is over. We've talked about kingpins before. Is the front shock outside hole on the arm now standard? Now your standard? Yeah, I always run it. I run the old rear shock shafts, which are longer. Degani says Mugen front shock shafts also work. They're a bit longer. Why no rubber seal under the new vented shock caps? That's because you cut the bladders. We didn't make a mold for rubber seals. Do I look like Kanai? You know, we don't have that kind of money. So just cut the bladders. I run 50-50 on the shocks. Yeah, so I set the brakes so that if I need more brakes, then I can add more on the radio. I'll show you. So I showed you how I use this for the timer and I can time my own laps. Well, above that button there's another one. You push forward, you can add some brakes. So when you set your brakes, what you should do is you should set this brake right there to maybe 80. Set it to 80, then set with normal endpoints and stuff. And then during a race or practice, whenever, you can add more. You can just go, while you're driving, click more, and you have more brakes. Really important tip. Okay, catching up with comments. TLR 1/10 four-wheel drive. Looked suspiciously like an X-ray. And my inside industry sources tell me that a certain representative from TLR said that they basically just tried to copy the X-ray as closely as they could. True story, true story. So, my favorite two-wheel drive buggy is the Associated B6 point something that I don't know. Is it 1? I don't have it. I got my 10 scales because Max stole my rear hubs. Max, if you're watching, where are my rear hubs and where are my shocks? I think you stole my shocks too. My special coated ones. These are the stock ones. So I dug these out of the storage. It's going to America. I'm gonna race at OCRC. Oh yeah. Good to go. Looks good. It's ready. It's ready. Where's the battery brace? I wonder if Max stole that too. How? Okay. What the hell were we supposed to talk about? What shock oils do I run? Aye. 500 in the front, 400 in the rear. I run Ultimate. Do you know how many cars you have sold to date since you started worldwide? 1 million cars. One more question. What's the difference between shortening the link on the hub in the rear versus the tower? My brain is gonna explode. I would put it like this. When you shorten the link, let's get a car here. Oh, I hit my knee. Shorten the link on the hub. When you do this, you'll have more steering because the rear won't be so locked in. So you lose some rear traction. So if your rear is too locked in, you can try shortening this. Often if your car is too unstable and you keep losing the rear end, you need more rear grip, kind of overall everywhere, like fuck, my car sucks. Go to a longer rear link, more stable, more grip, locked in, good. If the rear link is too long, you'll notice that if it does get unsettled, you can't kind of correct it. You have to almost kind of stop or slow down, let off the gas. Car stops, fishtailing, whatever, then you go. So that's a problem when the link is too long. Then shortening it, when it gets unsettled, you can kind of correct it, get it back, keep on going. So learn the difference between those two things. Unstable car, lack of traction, go longer, more stable. Then learn the difference to when it's too long and you start fishtailing, lose control, you can't recover, you have to slow down and then recover and then go. So too short, too long, not good. Has to be just right. Okay, what happens then if you shorten the link on the tower? So basically, you have the same length link, you have it further in, so yeah, shorten the hub, or you have that same link further out, shorten the tower. So when you move that link further out, what happens is it stiffens up the rear end a lot in roll. So let's say you're going through a high grip corner, the car won't want to roll as much. So you can drive more aggressively. So that's good on high grip tracks, but also you lose some steering doing that. So if you want steering, then that's not the good way to go. If you want good steering, then it's better to have it short on the hub, so the link further to the inside. If steering isn't a problem, if you want more support, a stiffer rear end, then you move that link out. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Dustin Evans is watching. Dustin Evans is watching because he kind of struggled at the 10 scale worlds, you know? So, you know, he's a 4-wheel master, but he wasn't doing too well. So I think he's hoping. Dustin Evans must be hoping that I'm gonna talk about my trusty Team Associated B64D. But I'm not. Sorry, Dustin. And I'm not gonna talk about my B74, which I haven't built yet either. This is gonna be 8 scale only. We're gonna talk about mesh. Okay, catching up with the comments here. What does going up on the link do but on... Okay, this is a native English language speaker, Jamie Clancy. Okay, let's slow down and read his message together, okay? Follow me. What does going up on the link do but on the hub do? Wait, I'm gonna try again. Finish my beer. Okay, let's try again. Jamie Clancy writes, what does going up on the link do but on the hub do? Wait. I can do this. I can figure this out. Jamie Clancy from England, native English speaker, writes, what does going up on the link do but on the hub do? Guys, I'm lost here. I really tried, but I can't figure out what the hell he wants to know. Okay, catching up. Okay, Jamie Clancy, you have one more chance and then we're gonna end this Q&A. So Jamie, ask your question. Now, maybe ask someone for help with the spelling and the writing, and then I'll be here. Okay, Jamie? Maybe it's a two-part question. Come on, Jamie. We're just waiting for Jamie Clancy now. That's it. This Facebook Live has stalled due to Jamie Clancy's question. Someone get Jamie Clancy back on here. I'm gonna message him. I can't continue. Oh my God. Okay, he's back. Moving the link up on the hub. That's it. Like, what does moving, haven't you tried? Oh, you can't try that, see? You can't do that on the trusty old Associated. Yeah, see, I shouldn't tell you, should I? What does moving the link up on the hub do? Well, if you just move the link up, if you move the link up here, you're angling the link more, you're raising your roll center. So raising your roll center, the car is more on the track, less in the track, if you see what I mean. Typically, it will be a bit stiffer in roll. It won't feel so soft. When you do it on the rear, you'll have a bit more steering. Similar to a shorter link, but not quite the same. So you'll have a bit more steering because the rear end isn't as locked in. But here's the thing. If you raise the link on the hub and the tower at the same time, you aren't moving the roll center as drastically. But what happens is you raise the link and the car will be a lot more forgiving on high bite tracks or edgy tracks. So low traction, low link. High traction, high link. So you can't do that on your Associated buggy. But I can on mine. Okay. Adjusts camber change too. Yeah. It's getting all technical now. Okay. What the hell were we supposed to talk about? Let's do the mesh now, and then I'm gonna talk about how to be a champ, okay? Jamie, you better stay on here. You need to listen to this one. Actually, I need to check my notes. Yeah, this is, oh, wait. Hey, what did we talk about last time? Was last time part 5 or part 6? I mean, part 4 or part 5? I just explained same link length, but move the whole link out. Jesus Christ, people. Pay attention. I think last time was part 5. I wrote part 4 there, but I'm pretty sure I explained part 5. Does someone remember what I talked about last time on how to be a champion? Please. Please, what did I talk about last time? What? Really? No, I'm doing mesh now. Let's do this mesh. And someone figure out what I talked about last time. What was it about? Oh, I have to see if I have some secrets here that I can't show you. But I don't. I don't think so. Okay, so are you stoned? No, I don't smoke. I do live with Jay Smoker in America, but I don't smoke. It's overrated. Okay, let's talk about mesh. Another beer should help. Good idea. Okay, so to successfully set your mesh, please open a frosty beverage first. Did you ever manage to get my parts sorted on the EU store? Brian McGinty. What parts? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I popped the engine in. I think I've set the mesh correct. This is what most JQ drivers do, okay? They built the car, they put the engine in, mesh is set, they're happy, they're ready to go. They're gonna go to the track. Then their mesh is gonna change. Then they're gonna, not strip their main gear, but the main gear is gonna start wearing out in a weird way. Then the mesh is gonna be too big. It's gonna be noisy, it's gonna be loud. They're gonna complain, they're gonna, oh, JQ sucks, his main gears suck. Look, I barely ran it. It looks like shit. It sucks, you know. And then they complain. And I'm gonna message them on Facebook and I'm gonna explain what they need to do and try and be polite about it and not tell them that they don't know what the hell they're doing and they need to learn to set their mesh. Anyway, I'm kind of tired of that. So I'm going to show you now on this Facebook Live how to do it correctly so that your mesh stays good, play stays small, you can lawn dart, you can cartwheel, you can do 30-foot triples, upside down, case the jumps, and your mesh will still be good. Okay, this is how you do it. 2.5. So remember, folks, I already set the mesh. Like, I finished my car. No, this is what you do. You undo all the screws up top here. All of them. All. So, these ones here on the mount, and also these on the case itself. So that's 8 screws you have to undo. So just a bit, just a bit. Okay, so I undid those, and now you can see that you can kind of twist, you can twist the engine a bit, right? Can you see that on this shitty live video? You can twist it. So what you want to do is now you grab hold of the cooling head, then you twist it away from the main gear. So as far away as you can, like make the mesh as big as you possibly can, and then you tighten everything back up. At the end of this, I'll explain the theory behind this and why I do this. Okay, tighten everything back down. And now, magically, the mesh isn't perfect anymore. It's a bit too big. It's what the women used to say back when I used to have sexual intercourse. They used to go, it's a bit too big. Okay, so now, mesh isn't perfect anymore, okay? So now we go to the underside. By the way, check that out. You see that shit? Carbon fiber from Italy. Okay, so now we undo the engine mount screws. Ooh, did you see that smoke? Some fire. Okay, and reset the mesh. So that's about right. Brand new gears, you know. They're a bit loud. Do you think champions should wrench by themselves or by parents or teammates? To be honest, I think it should be a combination of both. And I think then at the big races, at the major races, the drivers should have mechanics. The driver should focus on racing, watching other cars, thinking about the racing and driving only, not stressing about the car. But I think they should practice smaller races. They should wrench themselves so they have a full understanding of the car. So they understand the setup, they understand the wrenching. But then at the big races, they don't do it themselves. They keep a clear mind, only focused on driving. But because they have the experience, they can come with ideas and together with their mechanic come up with a plan, like, oh, we should try this, try that. Yeah, and then together they talk about it and then they make a decision. But they have a mechanic who does all that. I think that's the best way. Okay, now the mesh is good. And guess what? I can go to Thunder Rally, case every single jump for a full race, and the mesh will be good at the end of the race. Now, obviously at RCGP, I'm gonna strip a clutch bell or something, but here's the deal. This is the mistake people make. They put the engine in there, set the mesh, and they're good to go. They go out there, the mesh changes. It changes because, like I showed you, that the engine can twist a bit in the mounts. So you undo all the screws, twist it so that the mesh is as big as possible, tighten all the screws. Then you undo the screws from the underside, reset the mesh, and now you have a situation where the engine can't twist or move or be nudged in a way where the mesh will become bigger. It's impossible. You just eliminated that possibility. So your mesh can't change. It's not going to get smaller, trust me. But if you don't do this, then what can happen is if you know, a special kind of driver, like for example Keenan, if you drive like Keenan, then you might smash your car into the face of jumps so much and so hard that your engine moves a bit and the mesh gets big, and then the gears start wearing out, they start being loud, and you're that guy at the track. So yeah, set your mesh this way. Put everything in, loosen the top screws, twist the engine to make the mesh big, tighten everything down, reset from the underside, good to go. Mesh not gonna change. Okay? What are your thoughts on using the plastic bag or paper trick? I think the plastic bag or paper trick it's a bit like vaping. It's like vaping because like someone wrote on my post, like either you smoke cigarettes or you don't. You know, like real men smoke cigarettes. And then, you know, losers vape, basically. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. Like, real men set their mesh, just, you know, eyeballing it. You know, I'm feeling it like that. Oh, it's good. And then, you know, you don't want to bust out the paper or plastic. You know, what are you doing? I'm just setting my mesh. No, you don't want to do that. You know, maybe do that in the privacy of your own home. But when you're at the track, you have to act, you know, like you know what you're doing. And you don't put any pieces of paper between that, really. Okay. Okay, so now we really have to figure out what we talked about last time. Because this is the most important part of the Facebook Live. It's, what was it? Be a champion, not a fanboy. Don't be a fanboy. What is it? How to be a champion, not a fanboy. I don't remember. It's so important, I forgot the name of this segment. But anyway, we really have to figure out what we talked about last time. We don't have sensitive spaces, okay? Someone, for the love of God, what was the topic last time? Go to the track and do all the old RC car action tech tips in the pits. What are the RC car action tech tips? Maybe we could have a new series. I still haven't done that body clip Facebook Live. I really need to do that. Oh my God. I feel like I talked about accepting responsibility. I feel like I talked about that. And that's number 5. What did I talk about last time? Make the most of what you have or accept responsibility. Yeah, see, I did. This is really weird. I'm gonna have to, after this, I'm gonna have to go back and check. Can champions make fanboys champions? Yes, they can. They can, but mostly they are happy to keep them as fanboys because then they can keep beating them. You don't have to worry about a new champion. I have a lot of problem with my conical coupling, which often loosens even with a thread lock. I don't really know what that is, so I can't help you. Yeah, accept responsibility. Okay, how to be a champion. Is Jamie Clancy still here? I'm gonna message him. I'm gonna message Jamie Clancy because he needs to hear this. Okay. Should I message Jamie Clancy or Jamie Clancy RC? I'm gonna message Jamie Clancy RC. We want the RC racing. Okay. I'm gonna write, yo, get on my Facebook Live. I'm gonna make you a champion. There we go. Flywheel cone. You don't need, I don't get it. I mean, maybe you don't have the beans to do it. I mean, you don't need a thread lock on the flywheel nut. Just need this, and you need to, remember, you have to really crank it down, and it's good. It's gonna stay on. I don't know what the problem is. Okay. How to be a champion. Part 5, 6, I'm not sure, we have to check. But anyway, this one's all about self-awareness. Self-awareness is really important. So let me tell you a story, or let me tell you show you an example, illustrate this with an example of someone with complete lack of self-awareness. Have you seen those America's Got Talent and what's the original one? Anyway, fuck, that singing one. I don't know. You know what I mean. Talent shows. People go there, they have some talent, and then the judges say, you know what, you suck. And then instead of them being like, fuck, I kind of do suck, and leaving, they're like, no, I don't. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. My mom says I'm great. And they really believe that they are good, but they suck. Everyone can see that they suck. But maybe their parents are like retarded also, and they're like, oh yeah, you're really good. Don't worry about those professional judges. They don't know anything. You're really good. So this person, American Idol, yeah. This person lacks self-awareness completely. They don't know where they fit in the world. They don't understand their skill level. They don't know that they suck. They think that they are good. This is very strange to me. I feel like I have a very good sense or self-awareness. I know how good I am as a driver, as a designer, as a Facebook Live host, businessman. Everything I do, I sort of know if I'm good or if I'm not good, or like I can rank myself in a way. You know, I don't have these, I don't have a false sense that I'm really good at something, or the opposite, that I'm terrible at something if I'm actually decent, you know? So I can't relate at all to these people, but it's a big problem. Now, that example of someone being terrible at something when they actually think they're really good, that's the extreme. But it gets interesting when people have a bit of it, because it's sort of tied to confidence. So let me try and explain this. You need to believe that you can do things that you haven't done yet. So let's say you haven't won a race yet, and you aren't necessarily good enough to do it. You don't know for sure. No, you haven't won yet. And other people may be like, yeah, he can't win. But maybe you do have that skill actually. You haven't just put it all together at a race. So you need to believe that you can win, okay? So it's almost like there's a bit of this, it's a mix. It's confidence. You're confident in your abilities. And you have begun heading in this direction of lack of self-awareness, where you believe you are better than what you have proven to the world or shown that you are. So you believe that you can do something that you haven't done yet. You believe you can win even though you haven't won. You haven't really showed the speed, but you believe you can do it. But there's a limit to it. You can't believe too much. So maybe you can believe that you can win your nationals, or maybe you believe that you can win some regional race or a JBRL. Maybe that's what you believe. But if you're at that level, you shouldn't go to the Worlds and believe you can win the Worlds. Do you see what I mean? So there's a certain level that you can have a different view of your abilities than what your results are. But when the gap becomes too big, it becomes a problem. And this is why. So this person who goes on American Idol and sucks has no self-awareness. They think they're great, but they suck. The problem with this is they don't know their skill level, so they don't know what to work on to improve. If someone tells them, this is a problem, you need to work on this, they can't see that, oh yeah, this really is a problem, I need to fix this, because they think they're awesome. So you need to be able to see what your weaknesses are and focus on them and work on them. Also, what your strengths are. Like, you need to be able to evaluate your own performance and work on all the different aspects of it to improve. So that's why you need this self-awareness and a good understanding of your level as a driver, and what things you aren't good at and what things you should work on, and how you could improve. So that's important. But like I said, you need to, at the same time, believe you can do things that you haven't done yet, because that's gonna push you forward. If you want to improve, you can't be 100% realistic and only believe that you can do things that you've already proved you can do. You have to push yourself a bit too. So, yeah. So I think this is something that There are two problems really. Some people don't believe in themselves enough, so they think, oh, I suck, I can't do that. And because they don't believe in themselves, they don't really improve. They think, oh, I can never win or a club race or whatever. So they never win a club race. But maybe if they believed it and they became more confident, maybe they would win that club race. So it's a problem if you don't believe in yourself, you don't have self-confidence, and you don't push yourself. But it's also a problem if you think you are too good. You think you can go to the Worlds and win. You think that the judges are idiots because they can't see how great you are. So both of those things are problems. So you need to have good self-awareness. You need to know where you stand and then push yourself to improve. Yeah, man. You start from reality and don't confuse dreams with capacity. Spacco topete. Oh my God, are you serious right now? I don't know when that message was written. There you go. That was part 5 or 6. Not sure. My only big problem with the car is how are you able to put the rear chassis brace 2 nuts on the screws when the chassis brace holes are threaded? It's too difficult to align the nuts to the what the hell? Thread spiral in the chassis brace. You can't, no, glue them in, okay? Easy, just glue them in, they'll stay there. The nut is there so that you don't have to use thread lock. So don't use thread lock on the rear brace. The nut will hold the screw in. If I can win, anyone can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, Mike. Okay, so is there anything else or are we done? We did the mesh. We talked about self-awareness. We answered Clancy's question. We had some Q&A. Was there something else? Was I supposed to talk about something else? Why do you think X-Ray is coming with a new car every year? I think X-Ray need to produce new stuff and sell stuff constantly. So they like to do a new car every year. Glue your nuts, exactly. Jonathan, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not been an issue for other people. It shouldn't be a problem. 10 scales, there's not going to be any 10 scales. We're running team associated. How can I get more traction in my car? Fast, flat, and slippy track. Thinner sway bars, softer springs, lower the arms on the inside. Those would be the first things. Tires, different tires. Lower link on the rear, so lower inside and outside. That should do it. When are you going to drive a Mugen? Well, now I'm going to America. I was thinking maybe, you know, Drake runs Mugen. We're often at the track at the same time, so maybe I could try his Mugen. Lefty seatbelt extensions. Yeah, so Lefty, he's in America again. He flew over. He needed another seatbelt extension just to stay safe on the plane. They put him on the exit row because, let's face it, there was really the only option. Who's going to win the MX of Nations? Good question to end this on. I think the Netherlands are going to win. Goldenhoff is on fire right now. And Hurlings is back from injury. And Vlaanderen is good enough to get one good result. Let's face it. We just need one result from Vlaanderen. And Goldenhoff and Hurlings will take care of the rest. So Netherlands wins. America's second with Anderson, Osborne and Cooper. So America's second. Third place is hard. Third place, I think probably Belgium will get third. The other teams that are right there, I think France could possibly get third. They have a really bad team compared to what they could have. So many injuries and personal drama reasons, not picking riders not wanting to go. Switzerland, unfortunately, Tonus got injured. Otherwise, they would have had a really good team. Italy, Cairoli is out. Who does that leave? Estonia. Estonia could get their best result in a long time. Yeah, so there you had it. That's the podium. Netherlands, USA, Belgium. France fourth. Okay, we got a bunch of e-buggies. Prado, yeah, I mean, Prado will do well, but he's the only good driver on the Spanish team, or good rider. So, yeah, Spain aren't going to do anything, but Prado will be, let's see. Prado, he'll be so good on the starts too. He's good. Prado will finish. What is he? Is he MX1? So it will be Hurlings, Anderson, Prado, Polan. I think Prado will finish second in MX1. Like the class he runs, he will be second. Yeah, there you go. René Koenig is gonna send me his Mugen. Good job. E-buggy.